This week of April 7/11 on Days of Our Lives, the aftermath of the E.J. DiMera shooting takes center stage, with interrogations, suspicions, and emotional fallout rippling across Salem. Gabby is cornered, Chanel fears Johnny's guilt, and Chad demands answers while E.J.'s life hangs in the balance. Let's break down everything we know, and everything still hiding in the shadows. This week on Days of Our Lives, the spotlight turns directly onto Gabby Hernandez, and not in a good way. Following the shooting of E.J. DiMera at the DiMera mansion, J.J. Devereaux is wasting no time getting involved. He's stepping up, determined to dig into the case and uncover the truth about who pulled the trigger. And his investigation? It leads him straight to Gabby. According to the latest spoilers, JJ pays a visit to the Hernandez residence, only to find it dark and deserted on the very night of EJ's attack. The timing alone is suspicious. And with no solid alibi from Gabby, JJ starts to ask the obvious, and uncomfortable, questions. Now, Gabby may not be under formal arrest or locked in an interrogation room, but she doesn't need to be. Because this interrogation is personal, and it's coming from someone who knows her well. Let's not forget, JJ and Gabby have history. Deep, complicated, sometimes explosive history. He's seen her when she's unhinged. He's been around when she's made impulsive, dangerous decisions. And it wasn't that long ago that Gabby nearly shot EJ in a fit of anger. So now JJ is wondering, was that moment a preview of something bigger? Was Gabby pushed too far, again? Did she return to the DiMera mansion, gun in hand, to finish what she started? Whether Gabby is guilty or just in the wrong place at the wrong time, the walls are closing in. She's a prime suspect with a volatile past, and now she's in the crosshairs of both the Salem PD and her own boyfriend, who just so happens to wear a badge. Is this justice? Or is Gabby being set up for a crime she didn't commit? One thing's for sure, Gabby's world is about to unravel. While Gabby is fielding suspicions, Rafe Hernandez finds himself in a dangerous position, stuck between his duties as a cop and his instincts as a brother. JJ's investigation isn't just focused on Gabby, it's expanding, pulling in anyone with ties to her or to the DiMera crime scene. And as Salem's police commissioner, Rafe's proximity to the case raises major concerns. Has Rafe been compromised? Did he try to shield Gabby, intentionally or not, from scrutiny? If JJ suspects Rafe covered up something to protect his sister, this case could take a dark turn, not just for Gabby, but for Rafe's entire career. And let's not overlook the emotional toll this is taking on the Hernandez family. Rafe has always tried to keep Gabby on the right track, to protect her, guide her, and clean up the messes when she loses control. But now, he might be caught in the fallout, dragged down by guilt, loyalty, and doubt. If the investigation exposes even a hint of impropriety, if Rafe failed to report something, falsified a detail, or even looked the other way, he could lose everything. His job, his credibility, his future, and more importantly, he could lose his sister. Because the deeper JJ digs, the more likely it is that this investigation will turn family against family. In Salem, blood ties don't always mean protection. Sometimes they mean collateral damage. But Gabby and Rafe aren't the only ones under the microscope this week, because in Salem, suspicion spreads fast. And right now, the list of potential shooters is growing by the day. Let's start with Kristen DiMera. If there's one thing we've learned over the years, it's this: Kristen doesn't just hold grudges, she acts on them. Cold, calculated, relentless. She's never hidden her contempt for EJ when he steps into her territory, especially when it involves control over DiMera Enterprises. Power in the DiMera family has always been a battlefield, and Kristen is a master strategist. If she saw EJ as a threat to her position, her daughter, or her leverage, taking him out wouldn't be off the table. But she's not the only one with motive. Jada Hunter has been walking a tightrope. On one hand, she's trying to repair her strained relationship with Rafe. On the other, she's finding comfort, maybe even something more, with Sean Brady. That connection hasn't gone unnoticed. People are talking, and more importantly, people are watching. Could jealousy or misplaced loyalty have sparked something darker? Think about it. If EJ learned something about Jada and Sean, if he confronted them or threatened to expose something, it might have pushed one of them to the edge. Maybe not out of hate, but out of desperation. Because in a town like Salem, protecting secrets is a motive all its own. And let's not forget, just because someone wears a badge doesn't mean they're innocent. Some of the most dangerous moves on days of our lives have come from the people we thought we could trust. So the question is, if it wasn't Gabby, could the shooter be someone hiding behind the badge? Meanwhile, across town, inside the DiMera estate, the emotional fallout is quietly setting in, and no one feels it more than Chanel Dupree. Because while everyone else is chasing suspects, Chanel is staring at the man she loves, and wondering if he's hiding something. She knows Johnny DiMera better than most, his passion, his pain, his pride. And lately, she's seen the cracks forming. Johnny has been angry with EJ for months. The lies, the manipulation, the control. Their father-son bond has been eroding for a long time, and Chanel has watched it all boil over. So when the shooting happened, she couldn't ignore the possibility. Could Johnny have lost control? Could he have reached a breaking point, one emotional moment too far? Spoilers suggest Chanel may do what no one else has the courage to do. She may look Johnny in the eyes and ask the impossible. Did you shoot your father? It's not just a question, it's a confession of fear, doubt, and the emotional weight she's been carrying in silence. Whether Johnny denies it, deflects, or reacts with hurt, Chanel is already shaken. Because sometimes, the people you love the most are the ones you know the least. And in that moment, Chanel faces a painful reality. Loving someone doesn't mean you believe they're innocent. Not in Salem, not when the stakes are this high. While suspects scramble and secrets swirl, EJ DiMera lies unconscious, and Salem is holding its breath. The latest updates suggest EJ's condition is critical, and the situation may be more dire than anyone expected. Doctors are fighting to stabilize him, but there's a real chance he could slip into a coma. If that happens, the case stalls, no confession, no memory, no ID of the shooter. Just a powerful man lying in silence while the world around him spins out of control. And at the center of that storm is Chad DiMera. Chad has always had a complicated relationship with EJ, a mix of rivalry, resentment, and brotherly loyalty. But now, that loyalty is burning into righteous fury. Chad doesn't just want answers, he wants justice, and more than that, revenge. He's not waiting for slow investigations or careful questioning. He's pushing, pressuring, demanding action. And if that means tearing apart friendships, confronting his own family, or challenging the Salem PD itself, he's prepared to go to war. No one is safe from his suspicion. No one is off limits. In the middle of Chad's spiral is Kat Green, who's quickly becoming his emotional compass. She comforts him in his grief, grounds him in moments of rage, and offers the one thing he's losing fast: hope. Kat believes EJ can recover, but Chad is losing faith. And with the clock ticking, his judgment is clouding fast. Because when there are no leads, no confessions, and no voice from the victim, sometimes grief becomes vengeance. And when that happens, innocent people get hurt. Can Kat keep Chad from crossing the line? Or is it already too late? As the mystery of EJ's shooting tightens its grip on Salem, the lines between love and lies are starting to blur, and nowhere is that more obvious than with Jada Hunter and Sean Brady. What started as a subtle connection, a spark between two people finding comfort in chaos, is now threatening to ignite something far more complicated. Jada is still trying to rebuild trust with Rafe, to salvage a relationship that's already hanging by a thread. But her bond with Sean is growing, emotionally, and maybe physically. And if it crosses that line, there may be no going back. Worse yet, their closeness is raising suspicions. If either of them is hiding something, even something small, it could easily look like a cover-up. A shared secret, a pact, or worse, a motive. Could someone be protecting the other? Or could one of them be responsible, and the other unknowingly caught in the lie? In Salem, we've seen time and again how quickly passion turns into pressure, and how guilt eats away at even the strongest connections. And while these tangled relationships unfold, J.J. Devereaux is still out there, digging, questioning, watching. He's seen it before, how people behave after a crime. How liars smile too easily. How guilty hearts beat faster when someone gets too close. Some suspects are on edge, twitchy, defensive, visibly shaken. But others? They're too calm. And that's the real danger. Because it means someone thinks they got away with it. But they didn't. JJ's not letting this go. And eventually, someone will say too much, or not enough. And when that happens, the whole facade comes crashing down. Because in days of our lives, secrets don't stay buried. They explode. So what do you think? Is Gabby guilty? Is Johnny hiding something? And will EJ survive long enough to name his shooter? The answers are coming, but not all at once. Drop your theories in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss a second of the chaos unfolding in Salem. This is Days of Our Lives, and this week, everyone's got a secret. And someone's about to crack.